7 out of the 8 games, because one of them will be a talking point for a little bit later. And we started off with Fnatic taking on DFM. And Chronicler, I know you are so enthused to talk to me about this matchup. What was it like from your perspective?
Well, this is the start of not only the day, but also the process of me getting more and more bullied as we went on.
Chronicler right now is sleep talking.
I also want to highlight, I think Fnatic here again showcased that they are very far ahead of everyone else in this group. There were a lot of question marks, not because of the level of play, but just because of the circumstances that they found themselves in coming into the tournament. And they have shown that it doesn't really look like anyone in Group A comes even remotely close to challenging them. We even got a little bit of a hilly moment, which I thought was great.
Yes.
Yeah, and taking a look at the Loud performance versus Evil Geniuses, Jojo Pyun just had an amazing day overall, taking a step back, looking at it, and just seeing that solo kill from the Akali's perspective there. Just great job from Jojo. Even the interview, you're just kind of highlighting his respect for the teammates and just their growth overall.
And I think the Observer's smurfing almost as good as Jojo did. That was a sick League Director play. I mean, obviously, EG managed to pick up their first win here at the top of the day. Both NA and EU had a hard fight for that, just a little bit. We turn our attention to Saigon Buffalo taking on Isris, that Zillion top. It was fun to watch, Rez. I know some of the LCO players and fanbase were talking about celebrating, like, yeah, you know, that's the thing we've done before.
Yep.
We're really happy. I ultimately didn't really help against the Buffaloes.
Yeah, Shogun put up a clinic. Being able to pick up a pentakill the second of, at that point of the tournament. So it was really nice to see, and it capped off what was a really good part of the day for the Saigon Buffaloes.
And it was also in classic Saigon Buffalo style. Also, I personally enjoyed a little bit of vintage LCK player Azir. Of course, any generic Green Wings fan will remember that they found themselves in disadvantageous positions very often.
Rez, remind me to quote this at the end of this clip. Okay?
Oh, I remember that.
I want to come back
Yeah,
to
well,
judge
it wasn't the case here, because DFM actually was ahead for about 25 minutes, then made like 3 mistakes, and then we're like, okay, no, we're actually.
The game's now done.
Yeah,
it's time to end it now. It's time to end it now. Well, we turn our attention now to this was Beyond Gaming taking on Evil Geniuses. Chronicler, I'm going to stick with you a little bit.
Sure you are.
The opening, 8-10 minutes of the game, EG really pulled significantly ahead, and then the tempo slowed down. I felt like a lot of fans and viewers at home were a bit critical of that slowdown in pace. I quite like your take about it being respectful. Where do you land now with a little bit more time to reflect on and think about it?
I think it's fine. In any best-of-1 scenario, I would just never take the risk. Like, people might clown you for it, but at the end of the day, all that matters is you get the win. As long as you know that you can maybe speed it up, you can try and accelerate and play it a little bit cleaner, not make mistakes, and you'll be fine. I don't wanna, this was...
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not gonna let you fall on that one.
I will say, though, still nice to see. I like the point. It shows that Evil Genius is respecting Beyond Gaming, knowing that any mess up there could really turn the tide. So overall, a good idea. But as the day went on, you got to see a little bit more scrapping.
Yeah, we did. As I gotta say, the final game of the day actually got very, very out of control with DRX. Going for extremely, probably the most questionable item build we've seen thus far. The Demonic Embrace
on the
that's
stage.
fun.
RNG bouncing back after the defeat yesterday. Confident win, strong win. There was a few moments where Mad Lions kind of put up a bit of a fight, but as we heard from Mac, ultimately, as soon as Wei got a little bit ahead, he just dumpstered at that Graves.
He did. I think that individually, in terms of skirmishing, it's kind of what we've seen Mad do against minor regions. Is now what RNG did to Mad, where there's a couple of good moments. You have some Armut in this game in particular, found a couple of great angles on his Aatrox, but by and large, the map movement, the execution and confidence in the fights, it's just an RNG that we've seen very often, and I think pretty much the reason why they're as respected as they are. And Mad were clearly not equipped to deal with it.
Yeah, and kind of adding to that, really loved the Mac interview with Lore, where he talks about, sure, the game felt unwinnable at a certain point, but mostly talking about how the first 8 minutes was doing really well for them.
Yeah.
And for you to be able to like push forward and find growth, retaining what has been so good for you, at least in a game like this, so you can see at least some positives, building on that, and then obviously just addressing the fact that at least for your bot lane, it felt really unwinnable when they were getting frozen on.
As the European representative sitting at this area, whenever I have to sit and listen, hear a coach talk about those first 8 minutes, they went so well. I think that is the textbook definition of hopium as far as I am concerned. Finding the silver